Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick introduction as to the video that you're going to be coming in here and watching next. This is the video that I had done in a collaboration with Mary in one of her Eat Clean resets. And these she does on a regular basis. This is just one of the sessions that she does, and this was basically with using essential oils and recipes and some education behind some of the essential oils. So I hope you guys like this video. If you're interested in learning more about the Eat Clean resets that Mary does, definitely I will link her below as well, so that way you can go ahead and register for one of the ones that she has upcoming, as well as contact her, follow her, and DM her with any questions. So if you're looking for an amazing nutritionist, if you're looking to find out natural ways to change your eating habits and make them sustainable, she is your go-to girl. So definitely check it out and enjoy this video. And I hope you guys like it. It's a little different than the DIYs that we usually post on Mondays, and it is a lot longer. So go ahead, grab some healthy snacks and join us for this. Enjoy.
Hi everyone. How are you? How's it going?
Great.
It's been such a long week, right? I suddenly was like, I haven't seen y'all for so long. I'm so used to seeing y'all every 2 days. And I had some people like log on Tuesday and be like, where's the class? Where's the class? Why is there no class? And I'm like, no, there's no class today. So anyways, I hope y'all have been trying out the recipes. And I hope you'll have been buying the stuff and then figuring out what's working, what's not. I've got so many mails from so many of you. It's been so nice. It's been like so exciting. Each one of you all different stuff. It's like I'm really I feel so happy every time somebody sends something in, because that's what it's all about, right? That's what I want y'all. I need y'all to try it, and I mean, you can just watch it and it can happen, and it'll never happen that way. The reason why I'm doing this whole live thing and going through the ups and downs of Zoom is, and not just selling you a recording, is because I just want y'all, I want it to be as interactive as we possibly can in these times, right? So please try to just, I mean, like whatever y'all are making, you don't even have to send in pictures. You can just write the stuff that you want. Some of y'all are doing a really good job and sending me so much of stuff. Oh my God, they're just like amazed at the amount of things that y'all are making. I saw a lot of y'all tried a lot of the recipes from last week, but nobody tried did anybody try the spicy balls, the veg balls with the sesame? I didn't see any pictures of those. So I was just wondering, because I thought that was like a very easy, the sweet potato balls. I thought that was really easy to do, but for some reason I haven't got anybody's pictures from that. So did nobody try them this week? Anyway, sorry?
No, I didn't.
Nobody's tried them. Okay. So,
I did try the chickpeas.
yeah, I saw those. I saw the chickpeas. And yeah,
Was it became soggy like the next day? It wasn't that crisp. I meant not soggy.
yeah, so maybe you put a little extra water, so you can reduce the water and make sure that they are in an airtight dabba. Because
Yeah,
they
that.
don't have any baking stuff, so make sure that the dabba is airtight, because ours last for like 2 weeks. There's no
Yeah,
problem.
where you're correct. Where I went
Yeah,
wrong.
because it tends to become like, you feel like it needs more water, because it's kind of like not really this thing. So you feel like, you know what, I need a little more water, but just don't add that extra water, because that will make it
Really nice. It tasted really nice.
yeah, it's really good. Okay, so yeah, so many of you have been sending in stuff, and so many of you have not been. Not so many. A few of you have not been sending anything. I'm going to be shaming y'all today, because y'all have to send me stuff so that I know that y'all are doing it. I need to know that y'all are trying out the recipes. This is the time that you can use me, guys, because otherwise you have the ebooks, you have the recordings, and like nothing will really happen if you don't use me and try it out. Only if you try it out, you'll realize what mistakes you are making, and what basically you need to start this health journey. I need you to basically get on it and start getting used to it and getting comfortable with it and making a difference in your life, for it to be a lifestyle change. So please, 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 please try. I've got like Aarti, Alia, Dineet, Kajal, Komala, Madhu, Nilyanka, Payaswini, Shalini, Sparsha, Sumati, Ritu, Simran, Sunita, Tara, Tejaswini, Vinu, and Seenat. All of y'all haven't sent a single picture or mail to me. I'm very upset with y'all. Okay, so please send in something. I need to know that y'all are alive and y'all are not a bot, and y'all are doing something. I need to see what y'all are doing, because that's the only way at the end of this month when I go away, that's the only way you're going to be continuing this. Okay, so please, 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 you spent so much of blood, sweat and tears, and people are fallen sick and everything making this program come to you. Okay, so it's like a labor of love that may never happen again in this capacity. So please use that. And also please, please, please make use of the vendor list, because everyone has been so generous with giving us discounts, and these are companies that I have vetted, these are companies that I use. So I really want you all to be able to start using them and use the discounts and start buying them, invest that money and start buying that this time, because there'll be lots of companies coming up, especially after this year. Next year, everybody's going to be doing health, everybody's going to be doing organic. So you might again get bombarded and mixed up with what kind of things are there, right? And what to buy and what not to buy. So please, again, make use of the vendor list and please buy the stuff, because this is a great opportunity for you to buy everything that is from a really good company. Okay. And yeah, so let's start on today. Let's not delay. So today I'm so excited about today's class, because today is one of my favorite classes. It's one of my favorite things, right? Okay, Ragini says that she's missed out the vendor list. We emailed it to you last week. What we'll do is that with today's ebook, we will send the vendor book again. Okay, just make a note here. Yeah. We'll send the vendor book again, and please open them, make use of there are lots of discounts and lots of places, and the email, the websites where to get them from, everything from tofu to everything. I mean, there's just such a wide array of stuff, so you can just start using all of them. So let's get on with today. So today I'm so excited about today's class. This is one of my favorite things. This has been a game changer for me in my life. I mean, food is very important, and this whole eat clean reset is about food predominantly. But yeah, so oils have been such a big game changer with my health, and as you know, I struggled with a dairy disease in my home, and being able to get that going, getting, you know, so many times there can be treatment and you can change the food, but you can but then if you don't know what the toxins are. I mean, on an average, people say that we are exposed to over 70,000 chemicals in our daily life. 70,000. Okay, so imagine, you might be eating the cleanest of foods, you might be doing the best diet, you might be doing all that, but your body is just trying to fight off 70,000 chemicals every single day, from your environment, from your air, from the pollution, and most of all is from stuff inside your house. Like, you know, your furniture exudes formaldehyde, your you know, you don't open your windows, there's your car. I mean, so many times we just get into the car and the AC is on, we'll never put the windows down, right? And all that has exuded stuff all night, and we just breathe in that smell or breathe in stuff from the AC. Like, we don't even realize how damaging that is to us and how much our bodies have to deal with it. Our floor cleaners, everything that's supposed to be for our cleaning, this new thing of this amazing sanitizers everywhere. My niece got one with like big pink bubbles and balls in them, and I was like, oh my god, what are they going? It's going to be like eating up your hands. So our detergents, everything, you know, we're constantly, like, our skin is our largest organ. We put every cream in the world on them. We don't even think about what are the chemicals in this cream, how much is it going to, I mean, like it's not anti-aging, and it's just on your skin causing more damage to your body, and giving your body so much of it gives your body so much of pressure. Your body has to just get rid of it as much as possible, right? So yeah, so that's why essential oils have been a game changer for me, because I've just shifted everything in my life from I mean, like, look, this is my bottle of essential oil. This is my medicine cabinet. Okay, this is one part. I've got like a whole other new box of it. I've got a whole other new box of it, which I haven't even opened. But yeah, these are the number of essential oils I have in my life. I use them for everything. In my handbag, there are like here are my little perfumes. This is what I put every morning. I don't use perfume anymore, so I just do that on my wrist. And I've got like a blend for skin, so it's a geranium and peppermint and a couple of things which are really good, because I get really bad they're kind of like eczema. I don't know what it is. I've tried getting off everything from B to A. It still comes up as soon as I'm stressed. Like this month was like so much of work. They started popping up because I scratch it in my sleep. And then I started putting this with some pure African shea butter, and they've really been getting control. They're not itchy anymore, and they're not hurting me anymore. I've got a cold blend which I carry everywhere. This is like in my handbag everywhere. Peppermint, eucalyptus. They've got there are some blends that we'll be talking about later. So all of them go into this blend, and this just goes, I mean, I just put it on my chest if I'm going on the night, put it on my temples, even if I'm going to sleep. And it kind of just keeps everything a lot clearer. I should be doing it, an inhaler with it, but I really forget and I don't, but that's really good. And lastly is my favorite oil is orange. Okay, orange is just, I use so much of orange oil in my life. It's just like, you just smell it, you just get happy, right? The smell of an orange just makes you happy. It's in my vitamin water every day. I make desserts with it, everything. I mean, orange is everywhere in my life. So yeah, so it's such a big it's made such a big difference to my life. Like one drop of orange oil, I mean, Zarine will tell you later on the show, like one drop of orange oil is like, I don't know what, 30, 40 oranges. So it's so potent and it's just so full of the good stuff. So yeah, so I'm so excited, and I know that Zarine is a friend, and she has been dealing with essential oils and is an essential oil expert. So I decided that instead of only me giving you this talk, we will bring Zarine on. Zarine lives all the way in Vapi in Gujarat, and she has moved from the US and is living there with her husband and her 3 kids. And yeah, so she has she'll have a lot more inputs to give you all, and please feel free to ask her questions. And yeah, let's move on from there. So let's start the class. On to you, Zarine.
Thank you, Mary. All right, so hi everyone, welcome to today's class. I'm gonna get the screen sharing started, but I want each of you to try to turn on your videos. I know it can be chaos in the background. Mary has had a few phone calls with me. Try to turn on your videos because I do wanna see your faces and have that interaction with you. Hi. So I'm really glad that all of you guys are here and able to join us today. As Mary had mentioned, one of her favorite oils is the wild orange. So in honor of that, we're going to be doing a 5 ml wild orange essential oil giveaway somewhere throughout the class. So I want you guys to pay attention and be able to—
Y'all are the lucky ones today. You can win an orange essential oil.
Yep, so definitely participate in the class. It's not mandatory, but it's there for your benefit. And we will be stopping every once in a while to go over questions. So as you have questions, just put them in the chat box and we'll get to them as soon as we can. So we'll get started now. So Mary had done the introduction for myself earlier, I was actually born and raised in Canada, and I've been in India for 10 years now. So if any of you guys aren't able to understand me or anything, just message in the chat box. Don't feel afraid to respond back or ask me to repeat myself at all. So I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to be here to present with you. And I know that all of you are in the same space that I'm at, where I believe that there is a time and place for modern day medicine, but we have the ability and the tools to basically heal ourselves from within. So we should be looking at everything we're exposing ourselves to, especially anything that we're applying on our skin, all the toxins that are in our environment, and all of the different additives and preservatives that are going into our food that we really don't need. So this is kind of where going back to nature, going back to the earth, and understanding what nature has to offer us is going to be the biggest benefit. So there's typically two paths. And I know that almost all of you, I'm sure all of you are on the rightmost path, where the nature produces, it meets the body's needs, and then the body is able to heal itself. And that creates an environment for hope, love, and gratitude. Whereas there's the opposite side of the spectrum, where things are being synthetically produced. There are side effects where I'm sure there have been things that you may have eaten, or there may have been products that you might have used and had skin irritation or allergic reactions to, and you may not know what the cause is, but it's most likely because there have been toxins or chemicals added to those products that are creating an issue on your skin or in your body and having that reaction to it. So one of my favorite quotes by William Osler is, "The person who takes medicine must recover twice, once from the disease and once from the medicine." So I don't know how many of you guys, if you guys just want to do a quick raise of hands, how many of you have heard of doTERRA essential oils or have heard about the company or their products? I don't think I see any hands up. So basically a little bit about doTERRA is they are the largest company in the essential oil world with nearly a 75% retention rate. So they're kind of like the Apple and the Google of the essential oil world. They're actually probably better and bigger than that because of the fact that doTERRA is more than just the product. They're about giving back to the community. They're about helping other farmers to be able to source these oils and sustain them and ethically source them. So that's kind of where we'll go into a little bit more about their sourcing model. So when you're actually looking at purchasing an essential oil, or when you're looking at, okay, how do I know this is the right brand for me, is a couple things to be cautious of. When you read an essential oil label, if it says 100% pure on the bottle, don't always say take it for what it says, because just because something says 100% pure, in the essential oil industry, they are not regulated. There is no regulating body for them to say, okay, we're going to be mandating that you cannot have these chemicals or these preservatives or these additives added into your essential oils. As long as the essential oil has 5% of the actual essential oil in it, they're allowed to market as pure. And that's scary. So that's something that when you go to the medical store and you look at, okay, this essential oil that I'm purchasing here is for 100 rupees. Why should I buy a 700 rupee bottle when I can buy a 100 or 200 rupee bottle that says the same thing? And that's where you have to ensure that you're looking at the quality, because these are things that you're looking to use these essential oils for your health benefit. So when you're applying them to your skin, when you're internally ingesting them, when you're breathing them in, these are things that are constantly being around you. So you want to make sure that they are pure plant derivatives, they're containing no pesticides or fillers, and they have the highest quality testing. And that's where doTERRA's source to you has all of that. So on the bottom of actually each essential oil bottle, it'll have like an expiry date on it, but it'll also have like a number, which is a batch number. So from that batch number, you can actually go to this source to you website and look up to see exactly what tests have been done, what toxins are in my oils. Like you'll see like the GCMS test. You'll see if there's any lead content in them. And that's basically every batch. So doTERRA tests every batch of oils across the spectrum of different tests that are going through third-party testing. So that's where you know the authenticity is there as well. And no other manufacturer does this or does this. So that's kind of where I ask you to go back and take a look at all the products that you're using, regardless whether they be essential oils or food products. Read the labels. Make yourself aware to make sure that the ingredients and the quality of the products are actually being ethically sourced, as well as their purity is there, because you want to be using these to enhance your wellness, not to detriment it. So the next thing about doTERRA is that they use co-impact sourcing. So they don't actually own any of their own farms. They source the essential oils based off of where the therapeutic value is most. So they are sourced all over the world. So that's kind of where you know that the company is looking out for your best interests, because they're going to be using peppermint. They're going to be using turmeric from different areas of the world to ensure that that area is grown, it's sustainable, as well as it's ethically sourced, so that way those oils are able to continuously be sourced. So this is kind of a world map where you're able to see where each of these different oils are being sourced from. And this is just a fraction of the oils that doTERRA has. doTERRA has about 100 individual essential oils, and then they also have quite a variety of blends. So out of all the essential oil companies I've tried, and I've tried quite a few, however, I have been using doTERRA for 6 years now for myself and my family, and this is the brand that I trust. This is the brand that I know works, and it is what it says it is. So that's kind of a couple things about the background of doTERRA. So here we have the fundamentals of a healthy lifestyle. And this is kind of what Mary has been working with you guys over the cleanse over the past week. And then what you'll also be seeing in the ebooks that she has is doTERRA also has a wellness lifestyle pyramid where you have your eating right, exercise, rest and manage stress, reducing toxic load. These are all things that you have to cumulatively work upon in order for your health to be proper and to be well. And then in order to be proactive about it, you have to have informed self-care as well as proactive medical care. And that's kind of where essential oils come in to be able to support you in your proactive journey for health and wellness. So now into the essential oils portion. We're going to go over some of the individual oils, some of the favorite ones, some of my favorite ones, and then some of the top 10 ones that are most popular. So I'm sure all of you have heard of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. Those are probably the most common ones that a lot of people use. However, when you again compare it to some of the other products that are out there, that's where you want to make sure the essential oils that you're using are safe. Where doTERRA's essential oils are 100% natural and safe. They have nothing added to them, nothing taken away. They're 100% pure, and they have no addictions to them. And this is where you can use them all the way from infants up until grandparents. So as long as you dilute them, use them in the correct ratios. We'll go over some of the proper dilutions as well as in the ebook that you'll be receiving later on. It'll have all the correct dilution ratios so you can reference that. So always make sure that when you are using essential oils, you are either diluting them or doing like a skin test to make sure that you're not getting any sensitivity depending on your skin type for a specific oil. Because with, like, let's take for example, peppermint oil. You're able to see that when you're using peppermint oil, 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint oil is equivalent to drinking 26 cups of peppermint tea. So that's how potent it is, where when you're going to be adding peppermint oil into your water or into your tea, either what you can do is just take a toothpick and dip it into the bottle and swirl it in your water, or you would just want at maximum 1 drop, because you'll notice that it's going to be so powerful and potent. So that's kind of where you want to make sure that less is more with doTERRA. And that's where like each of the bottles, again, like a 5 ml bottle has about 87 drops in it. and a 15 ml bottle has about 283 drops in it. So that's where they can last you for months. One of the oils that I go through regularly is probably On Guard and lemon. Those are two oils that I order every month because I'm constantly using, and you'll see how I use them a little bit later in the class that we'll go through as you go through some of the recipes and some of the veggie washes that I do. So the second thing about essential oils is that they're effective. So typically, essential oils will generally metabolize in your body within 30 minutes. So that's where they don't work the same way as an isolated pharmaceutical drug. So if you are using an antibiotic, basically an antibiotic is going to be water-based, whereas the essential oil is oil-based. So it's actually able to penetrate through the cell membrane to affect you from the inside out and to be able to support you along your wellness journey. And that's kind of where, if you have a virus or a viral infection like the flu, what is the doctor going to say? Basically, just kind of go home and rest. And that's where, as an alternative, yes, you can go home and rest, but in addition to that, you can use these essential oils to support your health, wellness, and your recovery. So that way you can basically use them, rub them onto the bottom of your feet. You can add a drop into your tea, do a steam inhalation with it, and that will be able to support your body to be able to recover a lot faster, as well as to support your healthy immune function. So that way you might not be getting as sick as often. And that's kind of where, for myself, I haven't seen a doctor for probably about 6 or 7 years. And I live in a village as well here. So even my kids, I don't take them to the doctor. If there's anything wrong or if anything happens, I usually resort to my oils, or they kind of just allow their own bodies to fight it through. And that's where, when you know that you have something so pure, you're able to use those tools and use those resources instead of having that fear of, oh my God, what should I be doing next? Or how should I be using these? So that's where, as you get started on this journey of essential oils, Mary and I are here to guide you through it, give us all of your, share all of our experiences with you, as well as the education that we have to offer you, so that way you're choosing oils that fit your lifestyle. The last thing is the affordability. So as I mentioned, the drop by drop, where each bottle, either the 5 ml or the 15 ml, contains either the 87 or the 283 drops. That's kind of where you're able to see that when you actually look at the costing of an essential oil, because of the potency and the purity, when you're using only like a couple drops at a time, a bottle can last a long time. And that's where it makes it so much more affordable than every time having to go to the doctor, paying for the prescription, then paying for the medication, then not only paying that in monetary ways, you're also paying for it by your gut microbiome being affected, by your digestive systems being affected. So it's basically, it's also affordable, but you also want to make sure that you're looking after your body for the long run, because no one else is going to do that for you. So that's where on each of doTERRA's bottles, you'll see the CPTG mark, the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade mark on them. And that's where you'll be able to see that they are, the purity and the potency is there. They're free of contaminants and pesticides, because you know that testing has been done. And again, on the bottom of each of the bottles, you'll see the numbers on them, that you can go to that Source to You website to see what is in each of those bottles. Then this is just an example of the testing that's done for them. So the quality testing. So they look for heavy metals, they look for the isotopes, biochemicals, taxonomies, and it's quite a rigorous testing process. That way, you know what you're putting on your body is actually pure. Because when you go to the medical store, is the pharmacist or whoever is going to be there to tell you, okay, the oil that I'm selling you has all this testing done? Or they're just going to say, oh, it might be good, but they don't actually know if it is actually truly good. And that's where you want to make sure that you are making educated decisions for this. So the 3 different ways to use doTERRA essential oils is aromatic, topical, and internal. We'll go over each one of them. I know internal is sometimes a controversial subject with internal use as to whether or not I should be using essential oils internally. But we'll kind of come back to that a little bit more, where I'll go into more detail as to how to use the oils in the correct manner internally and how they can actually be beneficial for you. So one of my favorite ways is aromatically. So that is in the picture, you can see that it has the image of a diffuser. If you don't have a diffuser, you don't have to worry. What you can always do is just even add a drop of the essential oil in the palm of your hand. And from there, just rub your palms together, cup it in front of your nose and your mouth, and just sit down, breathe, and take in about 5 to 10 deep breaths. Automatically, you'll be able to see and feel that emotional response from the essential oil and from breathing it in. So for example, if you're breathing in wild orange, you're automatically going to be getting a mood boost. It'll also help calm your mind, but it'll also help invigorate your mind. So that's kind of where each of the different essential oils have different properties in them, their chemical constituents. So that's where one essential oil can do so many different things and have so many different uses when you're actually using it. So you can have one bottle of an essential oil and you could use it for 5 or 10 different things without having to deviate to another essential oil. So that's kind of where finding what works for you and finding out what works for your budget as well is where we can kind of combine a lot of these oils to cover different aspects of your health. So the second thing is topical. So topical again is basically applying it to your skin. So you would basically dilute it with either fractionated coconut oil. So in India, they usually do fractionated coconut oil, is like the virgin coconut oil that doesn't solidify. It doesn't have that coconut oil smell to it, which then allows the essential oil to have the biggest aromatic benefit as well. So anytime you're doing topical use, you're also getting the aromatic benefit. And that's where your skin is the largest organ. You want to make sure that what you are applying to your skin is pure, because every day, as Mary had said, there's over 70,000 toxins that we're exposed to each day, but our bodies are actually topically exposed to over 200 different chemicals that we're applying, whether it be makeup, whether it be lipstick, whether it be deodorants, perfumes. All of those are having different chemicals that we're basically applying on a daily basis. Even like our toothpaste that we're using, make sure that your toothpaste is organic or natural. And that's kind of where doTERRA has a wide range of products, from deodorants to toothpaste to mouthwash to hand soaps to essential oils, where essential oils are their main line, but that's where they also offer you a whole lot more to be able to also change your lifestyle in your homes. Because when you're having things topically, you want to make sure that you are putting on the purest things onto your skin, because that's basically being absorbed into your body. And as I mentioned earlier, it's being metabolized. So that way, anything that you're applying onto your skin, that gets metabolized through your liver. So if it is toxic, your liver isn't taking a lot of that load. So that's where you want to be cautious about what you're actually using and taking. So the third one with internal usage. So this is one where I love in a bottle of water. If you're going to be using essential oils in your water or in food, always make sure that you use either a glass bottle, a ceramic pot if you're going to be cooking with it, or stainless steel. That's because you want to make sure that you're not using plastic, because the essential oils are so potent that if you do use plastic, it can actually leach the toxins from the plastic into the water or into whatever food or liquid that you're cooking or using. So that's kind of where it is. You want to be cautious of the carrier vessel that you're using to take these internally with. So the second option is vegetable caps. So doTERRA has veggie caps that you can basically open up the capsule, add in a couple drops of the essential oil, and basically swallow it internally. So that is where, for some of the hotter oils, oregano, any of those very warming oils that you also don't want to be putting directly on your tongue or if you don't like the taste of a specific oil, but you want the health benefit of it, that's where you can put it into a veggie capsule. The other option is an enterically capsulated capsule that's there, where it will be able to go through and pass through your acidity and all of the juices in your stomach and actually be able to be dissolved in your intestines. And that's where research has actually proven, where you're using some of the digestive oils that doTERRA has, for example, peppermint or their DigestZen blend. That's where using those enterically encapsulated capsules is that you're able to get the benefit of it reaching the spot that it needs to go to allow the inflammation to be reduced, to allow the healing to take place. And that's where some oils are more beneficial to be taken internally. So not every essential oil should be taken internally. Always read the label. If it doesn't say that it should be taken internally, do not take it. doTERRA has a couple essential oils like wintergreen and their deep blue blend, where those few oils, they actually put safety caps on them just as a double check and an extra precaution, so that way you know, okay, I really shouldn't be taking this oil internally, or a double check to say, okay, let me read the bottle before I open it up or before I use it. So that's kind of where there's always these extra precautionary items that you should know about, as well as read about on the labels that are on the bottles to know which ones you can and which ones you can't take. So the next thing is, I want each of you to maybe write down what your top area of health is that you're wanting to impact first, whether that be your digestive health, whether that be improving your gut, detoxing. So as all of you are on this cleanse, all of you are here to basically cleanse your bodies. So I'm sure that is one of your highest priorities. Another thing could be to reduce gas, bloating, to support your immunity, to basically enhance your skin. So there are different areas that I want you to basically write down your top 3. I want you to then message me. I'll put my contact details below. Either let Mary know in the group that you guys have, and then we can have like a one-on-one conversation afterwards to kind of see how you can suit and customize these essential oils to fit your health. So we're going to take a little pause before we kind of get into each of the essential oils. I want you guys to take a minute in the chat box. If you have any questions, message in the chat box. We'll take a little 2-minute break before we continue on to go over any questions, as well as I want you guys to name 3 ways that you can use wild orange essential oil for. So the first person that is able to get that in there in the chat box, let me know. This wild orange bottle will be yours.
Come on, everybody. This is a chance to win.
I see some typing, so.
This is so exciting.
You guys have to write all three together.
What was the question again, Zarine? Can you repeat the question?
So the question is, name 3 ways you can use wild orange.
The 3 ways, not what it does to you.
So I think we have a winner.
Who's that?
Ragini.
Ragini!
Yay! All right, so I'll just put that in.
Congratulations!
All right, so I've just put that in the chat box. Good job. If you guys have any questions, we can go over those. If you guys want to unmute yourselves, we can go over any questions. Otherwise, we can wait until the next portion is over, and then we can kind of come back to questions again.
Sure, and I can take over, Zarine, while you're setting up. Do you want to set up now, or?
Yeah, we can get ready to set up, and then I have a few other things to go over afterwards that we can go over as to how they can actually purchase them, because I want you guys to remember with the essential oils. So right now, doTERRA is a US brand. However, they are in over 120 different countries where they have warehouses in those countries. They will be entering and opening their warehouse in Mumbai in 2021 this year, or sorry, next year coming up. But in the meantime, I want you guys to know that if you are wanting to get these products, I'm offering you today as well as in the future to let you know that I will be giving you access to my US PO box. So what you would basically be paying is you would open up your account, you would pay for the shipping to the US PO box, which would be $3.99. And that is the cheapest option. Or if you want it faster, you can pay like the faster option. And then since the PO box is in Florida, you pay 7% tax. I then handle all the shipping from the US over to India, as well as all of the duties, the taxes, and the fees coming into India. So that's kind of where you get that extra added benefit of not having to pay anything extra other than what you would be paying on the website. So you basically pay doTERRA directly through the account, and you would get your account set up through either Mary or myself. We would help you, walk you through the steps and the process on how to get it set up and give you the address to use in the US. And then we would be able to get you your products over here very easily, very quickly, and without having all the extra burden of those extra fees. So that's just an extra option for all of you that are here today, as well as if you know anyone else that wants to use essential oils or integrate them into their life. Ask them to reach out to either of us and we will be more than happy to get them started. So I'm just gonna move back here to the first recipe. So let me know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, guys, the reason why I never really got essential oils or started talking more about essential oils, because this is where I would get stuck with my clients, right? Because I would get essential oils from the US, and it was really hard to find companies that had as big, of course, no company other than doTERRA, Rocky Mountain, a few, like 4 or 5 in the world, probably have as much of a range, or maybe doTERRA has the biggest. Does doTERRA have the biggest, Zarine?
Yes, yeah. So they are the biggest essential oil company. So they do.
So there are
biggest,
so there are companies in India that are organic, and they still have, all of them had smaller ranges. And I used to try and get oils from here, there, and everywhere for my clients. So it was just so amazing when I met Zarine, and she was like, I'll get them from the US. There's no problem. So this way, it's so accessible, and the whole thing about the oils being really potent. So if you're using the wrong oil, if the extraction process has been wrong, and has contaminants in it, those contaminants will go into your skin, right? Or it will be inhaled by you, and that is so toxic to your body. So it's really important, extremely, extremely important, if you start using essential oils, to use a really good one. Even like, for example, Zarine, I don't know whether she mentioned, but if you take a regular essential, even an expensive company sometimes, and then take a doTERRA one or a really good company essential oil, you smell the two and you'll find like a huge difference in them. So you realize potency. And another thing I love about doTERRA is what she mentioned, is that they won't just be like, okay, turmeric is grown in India, turmeric is grown in Australia, we'll get turmeric from both places. They will go to the place where the turmeric is actually most beneficial and most therapeutic, and is the one that works the best on your body. So that's another thing. You're guaranteed a really potent variety or strain of a particular product. So like buying haldi from the market and buying a turmeric oil, the two of them will have extremely different potency and effects on your body. So that's another thing that is really important to remember. Over to you, Zarine.
Okay. All right. So what we're actually going to do is, the first thing, whenever you get vegetables or fruits or anything, you always want to wash them. So we're going to go over just like a super simple recipe on how to wash your vegetables. So basically, again, fill up like a large glass bowl if you have, or stainless steel bowl. Even like a big pot is fine, as long as it's like stainless steel, ceramic, or glass. You're gonna fill it up with water, so put your vegetables in it, and then we're gonna just choose vinegar that you have. So you'll just pour in usually about a third cup, depends on the water that's there. So you'll put in about a third cup of vinegar, and then I like using the lemon essential oil. That's probably one of my favorite ones for cleansing, because when you put in apples and you put in lemon essential oil, you know how in India, if you put your fingernail across an apple, you get that waxy layer off of it? This is where the lemon essential oil is actually able to help dissolve that waxy coating off of it and remove it. So this is where just even adding in a couple drops of the lemon essential oil into your veggie wash, let the vegetables, fruits, whatever, soak for about 10 minutes, and then rinse it all out. And then that way you're ready to go. And this can be either done just before you're consuming it, or if you're going to be prepping it for the week and you're going to get all your vegetables and fruit ready. So this is where I'll either do the lemon essential oil, or I will do On Guard. And On Guard is the immunity supporting essential oil. So that one is a blend of, it has the orange oil in it, it has clove bud, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So those are all really good. Like even if you're wanting your kids to get an extra immune boost, what you can do is slice up an apple, like once it's already cleaned and ready to go, you can slice it and then put a drop of On Guard essential oil into the water and let them soak once they're sliced for a minute or so, or even for a couple of minutes. And then that way, when your children are eating them, they're getting that therapeutic benefit and that immune support from the essential oil while they're eating the apple. So they're kind of getting that double boost. So that's kind of where you can use these and integrate them in different ways, whatever way works for you. So this one is all set. We're going to move this to the side now. And then the first recipe that we're going to be doing is a pico de digestive gallo. So it's like a salsa. So I like my salsas chunkier. The same recipe, if you wanted to, you could put it into a blender, or you could put it into a food processor and make it a little less chunky, so that way it's more of like a smooth salsa. So it's up to you, whatever you'd like. So I have about 6 whole tomatoes that I have here just chopped up. You can get them cut to whatever your size is that you want. If you want them chunkier, leave them chunkier. Otherwise, you can just leave them as tiny as you want. And try and get all the juices. So when you do cut them up, don't leave any of the juices on the cutting board. You want to keep all of those juices, because that's where it'll kind of make it a little juicier as you dip into it and enjoy it. The next one that I have is, I have about 1 small onion. So if you have like a shallot or even like a green onion, those are good. This is just a regular Indian, one of the small onions that I have. I've just chopped that up completely, and then I'm just going to dump that in. And then the next thing is I'm doing a little bit of cilantro. So this is like the kothmir, the coriander that you get at the market. Nothing fancy, just a regular fresh cilantro chopped up. And that's about 1/4 cup of that. And then I like doing some bell peppers. So like the capsicum, and you can pick and choose any colors that you like. So I love anything that's fresh, anything that's colorful, bright. So I've chosen the red and the yellow. Do whatever you have locally available to you. If you have the green ones available to you, use that. It's perfect. You're still getting the benefits of the capsicum and getting those extra veggies in. And this is kind of where, if you're not a smoothie person, or if you're not as much even maybe a vegetable person, this is where having this dip is like great to eat with either like chips, like the tortilla chips, or with crackers, or even just as like a side on with your dinner. It's like a perfect way to add into that. Then the next one is the jalapeno peppers. So I chopped up about 3 jalapeno peppers. I left the seeds in because I like it spicy. So you are more than welcome to, if you don't get jalapeno peppers, the fatter green ones, you can use chilies. You can basically substitute in whatever you want to use to kind of get some heat in the salsa. So that's kind of where you can kind of mix and match whatever you'd like. Then I have lemon juice. So I have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I basically just squeezed a whole Indian lemon. I love lime, I love lemon, I love that citrus, the tang from it. And that's kind of where we're gonna now add in the essential oils. So when you're adding in, so the reason why we're adding in the juice plus the essential oil is because the juice has that tang to it. Whereas when you're looking at any of the citrus essential oils, those are from the peels, from the rinds of the essential of the fruit. So that's where you're getting the therapeutic property of it, as well as you're getting the benefit of the vitamin C from the inside of the juices. So we're going to do about, I did 1 whole small one, otherwise just about a tablespoon. Then I'm going to be adding the garlic. I love garlic, so I did 2 cloves of garlic in here. I'm going to add that into the lemon juice. And again, this is kind of where you can customize the recipe to whatever suits you. If you don't like garlic, omit it. If you like chives, like the lilu lasan, you can always put that in instead. If you don't like lemon juice, you can always omit that and put like lime juice, or you can put in something that might have a little bit of a tang. So that's kind of where all of these recipes, there's nothing to say, okay, you have to do it this way. Go off of your taste buds, find what works for you and modify it. That's what cooking is all about. So enjoy that and take the time to enjoy your food. So we're gonna basically add this separately. Then I'm gonna add in the essential oils now in here. So we're going to do 5 drops of lemon essential oil. So the lemon essential oil is, again, from the rind. So this is how the lemon essential oil is very good for cleansing, detoxing. It's also very good for your skin. So that's kind of where it's beneficial that way. One thing that you do want to remember is the citrus essential oil, so like wild orange, lemon, lime, all of those are photosynthesizing because they are cold pressed. So because of the fact that they're cold pressed, you have to be careful that when you are applying them to your skin, you don't want to then go out and have sun exposure because it can darken the skin or it can cause pigmentation on the skin. So that's kind of where you want to be cautious about that. So just a word of caution, lime essential oil is really good for bags under the eyes, but you want to make sure you put it on before you go to bed and not once you wake up. So we're now going to add in 3 drops of the lime essential oil. And again, if you find that you want less, feel free to start with like 1 or 2 drops, taste it, and then add in more. And then we're also going to be adding in now the salt. So we're going to add in basically salt to taste. So depending on how much salt you want, we'll add that in here. You can also add in fresh black pepper, or you can use like the black pepper essential oil as well to be adding in here. And then now we're going to be adding in, the last one is going to be the cilantro essential oil. So this one, very potent. Again, you just want to be putting in 1 to 2 drops where you don't want to be putting in too much. And if you're finding that the drops are coming out too quickly, just a little tip is put it into a spoon first, just to make sure that you have the right amount, and then you can kind of stir the spoon into that area so that way it gets spread out. So that way you're making sure that you're not just adding in extra, because it can completely change the flavor of a dish. So we've got 2 drops in here. And then I'm just going to give it a little swirl. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour that right in. So now we're just going to give it a good mix. And you can smell all of the essential oils. It is beautiful. And this is where, again, go by the seasons. So I'm going to bring this up a little closer here. So kind of go by the seasons. If you have tomatoes in season, use those, any tomatoes that you have, whether it be cherry tomatoes,
whether they be Roma tomatoes or just the regular Indian variety of the tomatoes. Use what you have in stock. One of the things that I like doing during the winter when it's strawberry season is I will do like a strawberry salsa. And instead of adding in some of the other oils, I'll do a drop of lemon and a drop of basil, where that is an amazing blend too. So there's so many different variations that you can have that'll work with you. So this is basically the end result. Again, you can taste it for the salt, and then also you can add in pepper if you'd like for that. So that's one dish. Any questions about that?
Hello, was the garlic peeled or ground? Was it a paste or was chopped?
So I basically just smushed it with a knife and then just finely chopped it. So it wasn't pureed. You can, whatever you have, you can use it however you like. So if you have like a paste, you can use it with a paste as well too.
Thank you.
Zarine, if you don't have particular ingredients, like suppose you don't have the lime, can the lemon essential oil or the lime essential oil substitute that? Like if I don't have cilantro today, can I sub it with more oil?
I would put in just more of the fresh herb. So
but what if I didn't have it? I'm just saying, can I sub?
You can substitute it, but I would probably put in, if you have like coriander oil. So coriander and cilantro are from the same plant.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can substitute it with another oil.
Like what if I didn't have lime juice? If I didn't have lime juice, can I just put in a few drops of the lemon essential oil?
Yeah.
Okay, so the flavor would be good. Okay.
And that's where usually 1 to 2 drops of the essential oil is equivalent to about 2 tablespoons of the dried herb. So that's kind of where the ratio would be when you're using these oils.
Okay, and also can you bake with them?
Yes, so you can. So that's where right now most of the recipes that we're doing are raw. So you're basically just adding in the oil and eating it directly. The potency of the essential oil when it's baked or when it's put into your cooking dishes reduces to be about 60 to 70% effective, as what research has shown, where you're still getting the therapeutic benefit, but because of the heat, it does sometimes alter the chemical constituents of that oil. So yes, you'll still get the flavor profile of it and you'll still get some of the therapeutic benefit. It just won't be as much as eating the oil like raw. So
but that's like regular food, right? Even if you eat a raw vegetable and you cook it,
correct.
That's the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But you can bake with them. There's no, because I just asked because you said, don't go out in the sun. So I was just wondering, whether that affects it. Like if you put enough heat on it, like on the stove or baking.
No. So that's fine. So like if I do like lemon cookies or peppermint brownies, those one, like it's basically and that's kind of where, instead of using flavorings that you would buy at the grocery store, like lemon essence and peppermint essence and stuff, that's where look at the ingredients of what is actually in those, and there will not even be the word peppermint. Like
but you start making there's such a big flavor difference. Like if you use peppermint or like 1 drop of peppermint oil in my raw chocolate, just like explodes. No essence can ever do that. You start realizing how essences taste so synthetic. Yes. When you start using essential oils, the difference is huge. It's like really huge.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when you go to the grocery store, when you're buying products, always be cautious. Anything that says natural flavorings doesn't have any natural flavorings in it. Be very cautious of your food and the intake that you have into your body, and actually look into some of the ingredients that are there, because that's kind of where you should make sure that when you are cleansing, when you are eating healthy, that you are getting the right quality of food. So we'll move on to the next recipe. We're going to be doing
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hi. Is there a vanilla essential oil by doTERRA?
Is there which one?
Vanilla.
No. So they put in vanilla into some of their blends. So like they have like Citrus Bliss, which has vanilla, but the essential oils that doTERRA chooses are ones that can be like steam distilled or cold pressed, whereas vanilla is an absolute essence. So it cannot actually be extracted on its own. It has to be put into an alcohol or something for the flavor to be extracted. So they're not typically into extracting through other solutions. So they are working with just the pure ones. However, some of their blends, you will see that they do add in like vanilla absolute in it to get some of the flavors, to get some of the aromas and the aromatic benefit of it, but they don't have vanilla, no.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so for the cilantro lime tahini dressing, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna make that. And what I recommend is if you guys don't have a good blender, so with the cilantro lime tahini dressing, I'm going to be using just toasted sesame seeds. And that's typically how I make it, where I'll make my own tahini, because that's what tahini is, from sesame seeds. If you have tahini, go ahead and just use in 4 tablespoons of tahini instead of 6 tablespoons of the sesame seeds. Where when I buy the sesame seeds, I buy organic, and I'll usually just toast them a little bit and kind of warm them up before I put them into this dressing. And I use a Vitamix that I have. India has, I don't know, I had actually bought this one about probably 9 years ago when I came into India. I imported it from Europe because they shipped that in, and it's a big investment, but it is worth it. Like, it has lasted so many years of pretty much everyday use, sometimes multiple times a day. And it is able to extract all of your food, all the nutrients correctly, as well as you're able to basically grind like these tiny little seeds into a beautiful puree pretty much. So that's kind of where invest in a good blender. Or also like the NutriBullet has come out in India. I've seen that in India on Amazon, where you're able to get the NutriBullet, and that's like fairly small, fairly compact, fairly portable. And it is able to also grind things very nicely at a reasonable price too. So yeah. Okay, so we'll get started for this one.
Sorry, that was Ashi had a question about tahini last time. Yes. So she wanted to make tahini. So this was good. So this is good. So I just put that into the chat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, so I have the blender here. What we're going to do is, so these are the sesame seeds that I normally get. They're just like organic sesame seeds that I bought online, very easily available. Find your local supplier and get them from there.
Zarine, could you lift the screen a bit?
Yes.
Just like a tiny bit. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
All right, so with the blender, you're basically just dumping in the ingredients. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with half a cup of fresh cilantro. So this is already being washed and ready to basically dump in. I'm not going to chop it or anything because it's all going to be blended in. So we're going to dump that in. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of lime juice. So again, just cut your lime in half and then just squeeze out the juice from it. And then this is where you're going to be doing like your tahini substitute. So I have 6 tablespoons of sesame seeds toasted, and I'm just going to dump that right into here. And the toasting kind of allows it to warm it up, and it gives it a new flavor profile where it has almost like that little bit of smokiness. And that's kind of where, if you're making your own almond butters, or if you're making any of those butters like cashew butters, pecan butters, I love making like my own Nutella, like out of hazelnuts and then some cacao powder. That's where toasting them gives it that extra flavor profile, as well as while you put them into the food processor while they're still warm, it allows the oils to kind of naturally release and kind of help everything emulsify and work together. So that's where it's beautiful that way. Then the next thing is we're going to add in 6 tablespoons of avocado oil or oil that you choose. So whatever you have locally available to you, I don't recommend using extra virgin olive oil just because it has a slight bitterness to it when you are going to be using like 6 tablespoons. You can do half and half with something else, but that's kind of where avocado oil is very good. If you have like the virgin coconut oil, you can also do that. Choose what oils you like and what flavors you like, and then go from there. So we're going to do about 6 tablespoons in here. And this is where you're adding that little bit extra oil because we don't have the actual tahini that we're using. All right, so we got 6 in there. And then, so when I make this, I find 1 clove of garlic is enough. And I love garlic. So 1 clove is good. If you find that it's still too garlicky for you, just chop it in half and use half. Or you can even omit it. I find I love the garlic taste in my dressings. So again, adapt it to whatever works for you and then go from there. So we're going to then add in a half a cup of water. And now we're going to add in our essential oils. So again, we're using the same essential oils that we had used in the previous recipe to kind of keep it consistent, because that's where when you purchase an essential oil, you want to make sure that you're actually going to be using it. So this is where we're going to try to create different recipes using the same oils, but there's so many different oils and recipes that you can use. And we have access to so many different resources. Once you do get started with oils, we share so many different ebooks, recipe options, as well as we're continuously updating them. So you have access to basically everything. So with this, we're going to do 1 to 2 drops of the cilantro essential oil. And again, if you find that your hand might be shaky or something, add it onto a spoon and then just dip the spoon in there to coat it afterwards, because you don't want to be adding too much. Then we're going to go ahead and add in 3 drops of the lime essential oil. And then salt to taste. So we're going to go ahead and blend it. All right, so it smells really good. It is nice and thick. This is where you can also add in like half of an avocado, or you can add in cashews to make it even creamier, and you can also add in water to dilute it a little further. So this is kind of the end product. And this is kind of where I love creamier dressings. If you're not really into such creamy dressings, You can always add in more water to make it a little bit runnier. And this is also really good with roasted potatoes to dip into when it is like so nice and thick. Basically, any roasted vegetables that you have, it's really nice just to add on as like a side. So it's kind of where you can customize it to what you want this dressing or dip to be. So that's kind of where it's really nice for that. So we will again take like a 2-minute break to go over any questions for this recipe, and then we'll come back to the next one.
Hi, Zarine. You said that we should not use essential oils in plastic material. Isn't the blender plastic?
Yes, but it's not being stored in it for long periods of time. Like for example, when you're cooking in it or when you're drinking your water, it could be sitting there for like an hour, 2 hours, multiple hours. That's when you want to make sure that you're cautious about what you're putting it in. Because then like, for example, even if you were making like a makeup spray or like a facial oil, that's where you don't want to make it stored in plastic. Here it's only there for like 5 minutes and then you're moving it to another container afterwards. So the essential oils, so I like refrigerating my citrus oils. All of the other oils I don't refrigerate in the heat. I find my citrus oils do evaporate because they are volatile. I find for months they'll be fine, but like I will find if I have a citrus oil that is out closer to like the windowsill or something, I will notice that it does get less because of that heat exposure to it, that it does evaporate faster. So I know people do store their citrus oils in their refrigerator, but otherwise, typically I don't store any of my oils in the refrigerator. So I'll usually store them. I don't know if you can see this little case at the back. I have like an essential oil case. So I just kind of store them in here and then I can close it and then transport it wherever I need to take it to.
So amazing.
So for
that's
the
like my next goal is to buy that bag.
Yeah. People carry their vanity kit. For you, it's like carrying the essentials.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So yes, once you made the dressing, you can refrigerate it. You can use it immediately. I find that you can keep it into the refrigerator I usually use it within a week. But I find when I do refrigerate it, if I don't use it immediately, I find it does thicken a little bit as well while it sits. So if it does thicken up, again, just add a little bit of water, or you can even add in coconut milk, anything that you want to flavor it with. You can do that just to kind of dilute it a little bit to be the consistency that you want. And then you can do that from there. So I would probably say use it up within a week if it lasts that long.
Have you ever used sweet potato with it? Like steamed
sweet potatoes. I actually do rosemary essential oil, where I do rosemary, olive oil, and salt, and then toss the sweet potatoes in that, and then roast them, and then dip it in the dip, and it's like really good. So, all right. Mary, if you want to just take over for 2 minutes, I'm just going to clean out the Vitamix while I get ready for the next recipe.
Sure. Thanks. So guys, I hope you liked that. Did you have any questions about it? And I hope it's you're getting an idea of what I want to portray in this about essential oils being such a big part of your healing journey. Did you understand what I was saying? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, we understood that how essential oil is playing a part in the way she's using it.
Who is this? Sorry, I can't hear you.
You know, you've been talking. This is Naina.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you've been talking about that, applying essential oil on the skin. So are you going to talk about it after this? Is she going to talk
She's
about?
just doing the recipe now. She already explained to you about applying it on the skin. She said that there are 3 ways to do it. You can
That I
either do
just
that.
heard about the palm, right?
No. You mix it with with something called fractionated coconut oil or any kind of carrier oil. You can use avocado oil, you can use olive oil, but you use something that's another very clean oil, and you can blend it in. Or another way to do it is like, see, I've purchased some pure African shea butter from, like it's just pure shea butter. It doesn't even smell really nice. It smells like nothing. Or you can do mango seed butter from Sattvic Foods. And so stuff like that you can do and just blend oils into it. And you can make your own body butters and stuff like that. So it's very, very easy to start applying it to your skin. As I just put
What
it.
take do you have on the forest essential?
So I
Sorry.
mean, honestly, I mean, for me, like when I started this whole process, I had to do it because of medical and therapeutic reasons, right? And because we were dealing with life-threatening disease, and I was trying to take away all toxins from our environment. So that's why I went straight into basically studying about essential oils and their potency and about how pure they were. And that's when I realized that you can go really wrong where there's certain companies can leave out stuff. And I mean, you know, like for example, I mean, the amazing thing about this is like they will source the turmeric from a particular place. It's not like just sourced randomly. So it's
True.
extremely so and I started realizing how much more it's like your body has to deal with so much if it's the wrong one. So it's so much better to just use companies that are have very stringent extraction processes. So whether it's Forest Essentials or whether it's anybody else, go to their websites and check out what are their extraction processes. Where did they get the oils from? What are the perfumes they've added in it? What are the fillers that they're adding into it? All that is really important because people can add stuff. So it doesn't matter which company, but for you, and even, I mean, a great thing is to just mail them and be like, you know, what is it? Where is it from? What are the processes that are using? And if somebody can give you a good answer, that's a good company to go with. If somebody doesn't answer you, then you'll get your answer, right? So
True.
cool.
Hi,
Over to you, Zarine.
Maria, I wanted
right.
to ask one thing that we can't use essential oils with any carrier oil, right? Like they have to be a certain, there has to be like a certain carrier oil that can go best with one essential
Correct.
oil. So
Yeah.
how do we determine that? Like you're saying there's mango butter, there's African shea butter, all these
So
things.
that's,
So, but we don't know how to, you know, those combinations, right? Like permutations, combinations, I don't know
so
what
the
this is.
best
How
one to
much?
go with, Zarine can answer that. The best ones to go with is fractionated coconut oil. But what I was talking about is she was asking me how to substitute it for something on the skin, right? Like a sheer, like instead of a body butter. So I'm using the same ingredients, say the pure African shea butter, and I'm mixing essential oil in it. So that's what I'm using for my skin. But if I'm just putting, like if I'm using the cold one, this has fractionated coconut oil in it. Zarine, what are the other carrier oils that can be used? And
So there's like sweet almond oil,
yeah.
jojoba oil. So it also depends on your skin type. So like, for example, for myself, when I do like an essential oil for my face during the winter time, I will put in my essential oils into jojoba oil because it is like a thicker consistency. It has that extra weight to it to give like that additional moisturizer. Whereas during the summer months where it's like very hot, very sticky, very humid, I always do fractionated coconut oil. So fractionated coconut oil doesn't give that greasiness, that stickiness that regular coconut oil does. So if you're unsure of which carrier oil to start with, always start with fractionated coconut oil. That's usually the safest one and has like the least reactions on your skin. Then the next ones are like sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, rosehip oil, apricot kernel oil. It all kind of depends on your skin type as well as what effect you're looking for. If you're looking for extra vitamin E, if you have acne, then usually a rosehip oil might be a little bit better for your face. So it kind of depends on what effect you're looking to get from it, because you're going to look for the therapeutic benefits from the essential oil, but then you're also going to want to look at the benefits from the carrier oil and how suitable that is for your skin. So coconut oil. doTERRA does sell that as well. I'm sure that there are also sources. I know I have in who buys virgin coconut oil that is like the same thing locally. Do you have a source, Miriam, in Bangalore that
I know Amazon does carry fractionated coconut oil.
Okay. And with Amazon though, again, I would definitely take a look and buy a smaller bottle from that brand. See it, try it, because I know like I've purchased aloe vera, where when I've bought the aloe vera and I've gotten it and opened it up, it's very scented, and that was not what I wanted from it. So buy a smaller bottle or buy something small from them first, see it, make sure it's what you want, and then you can buy like larger quantities.
And what about the butters? Can I use like that's what I do. I use it with the sherbet because like on my skin, oil doesn't work. I know it's summer. I feel it doesn't work too well. Not that I use too much, but I bought the pure African shea butter. I bought mango seed butter, and I basically made them into souffles. You know.
Yes.
In the blender with the oil, so that's fine, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that's where you can buy like the raw butters, basically just melt them like how you would melt chocolate, like on a double boiler, and then just whip them. So yeah, we should do like a class on butters.
Yeah, we should do a beauty class.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where you can use different things. So if you haven't accessed Pinterest is a really good resource for all of these like recipes, for finding different ones for beauty, for whipped butters, for different concoctions. And that's where, again, once you sign up, you'll have access to quite a few different Facebook groups, where there's one Facebook group that's a private one for us, which has over 25,000 different members in it. And you can always search off of their experiences and say, okay, I'm looking for something to help with eczema. And then you'll be able to see other people's recommendations based on what they have tried and what has worked for them. And you'll be able to see other referrals and stuff from that. So that's kind of where you're able to use the database of resources that are there to find out what can also work for you.
Okay, is everybody muted? Sorry, I think we can hear some. If everyone can mute themselves when she's talking, please. Yeah.
I had a question. Sorry. Can I ask a question now?
Yes, of course.
That's a very basic one. Might be a stupid as well.
No.
Is there a difference between extra virgin olive oil and fractionated coconut oil? Because I've heard this terminology for the first time and I'm confused as to what is fractionated coconut oil.
So between extra virgin coconut oil and fractionated coconut oil, so with that, it depends on who you're getting it from. So some people use the term extra virgin coconut oil, and it is just regular coconut oil that might be organic or something.
The extracting process is different.
Yeah. So with fractionated coconut oil, it is actually taking out it is consisting of the 2 medium chain fatty acids. So fractionated coconut oil can also be called as MCT oil. That's what a lot of people are using it when they add it into their foods, where it's basically just the fatty chains have been changed so that way it remains a liquid. It doesn't solidify. It also takes out the aroma from the coconut oil. So when you look at so for example, let me show you. Okay, so this is one that I bought from Thailand. I'm not sure if you can see it. It says on it, extra virgin premium cold pressed aromatic coconut oil. So this one smells like coconut oil. It doesn't have the aromatics of it removed. This one is basically, I just buy like organic virgin coconut oil. However, this one, it says organic virgin coconut oil, but it does solidify. So it doesn't solidify right now because it is hot. But the fractionated coconut oil will never solidify. So even if you refrigerate it, it won't solidify. And that's where it's nice for these oils, because it has like that extra fatty chain acid removed from it. So that's what it doesn't give you, that stickiness on your skin. That's where you're able to get like that, still the benefit of the coconut oil without all of the extra, I think it's like the top fatty layer. So like if you solidify coconut oil, it'd be like the top fatty layer that you would get from the coconut itself. So that's where it is a different oil, but I find in India, the names are very inconsistent. So I would say you would have to try it, see it, confirm that it is actually fractionated coconut oil, or see if they have like the ingredients listed on it before you purchase it from there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So the next recipe that we're going to do is an inflammation support turmeric latte. So this is one where I love like turmeric milks. Even if I feel like I'm getting like a cold or a cough or something, even when we were younger, my mom would always make like a turmeric milk with like garlic and maple syrup or a sweetener in it. I don't know if any of you guys had that growing up as well, but it's like, I still love it, probably because I also love garlic, but it automatically like soothes the throat. This latte does not have garlic in it. You don't have to worry about that. But this one is, we're basically using almond milk as the base source. And again, I'm not using prepackaged almond milk. I'm just taking almonds or slivered almonds or soaked almonds that you have, and we're going to make the almond milk while we're making the nut milk or while we're making the latte. So it's going to all be at the same time, again, in the same food processor or in the same blender at the same time. So with this, we're going to be using the almonds, and then we're also going to be using hemp hearts. So hemp hearts are very good. It adds like an extra creaminess, and it's also a great protein that's being added. Then we're going to choose like a sweetener of our choice for that. And I'm going to give a little bit of history about why we're going to be using turmeric powder, turmeric essential oil, as well as the black pepper essential oil in it. So when you have your turmeric essential oil, that comes from the tourmaline. So when you have like a turmeric itself, you have like the essential oil that's pressed out of it. And that is the tourmaline chemical constituent. And then you have the powder. So when you get like the yellow powder that you see or that you add to your food, that people are like, okay, adding that powder, I already add the powder in, why do I need the essential oil? So with the powder, that is your curcumin. So that is where you're getting that anti-inflammatory response. But combining the essential oil and the powder together make the curcumin 11 times more bioavailable to the body. So that's where you're stepping it up like so many notches for this anti-inflammation support, where you are not just using the powder, you're combining it with the essential oil to get that added effect and making it bioavailable to your body. So that's where we're having both. And that's where there's a lot of questions as to, I know with a lot of Indians, it's okay, but I already use it in my cooking, so I don't really need to invest in it. But that's where even with your cooking, if you're adding in turmeric powder, what I always do is like, even with like the dals and stuff, I will just add in like a drop or two of turmeric essential oil. Once it's like off the stove, I'll just add it in and stir it in at the end. But the turmeric powder, I'll usually cook first in like ghee or an oil or something first to kind of flavor it that way. So that's where you're able to get the benefit of both sides. Then with your black pepper. So even if I make like a turmeric paste, so in order for the turmeric to also be activated, black pepper is a very good activator for it. So that's where it has the same alkaloid as capsicum. So like when you have your peppers, your green peppers, your yellow peppers, it all has like that capsicum in it. Black pepper also contains that same bioactive the same bioactive compound called piperine. And that's where it helps activate that turmeric and allows it to be absorbed again into your body a little bit better. And that's kind of why we're adding in all of those different essential oils into this mix. And that's where when you are using black pepper is a really good support for pain management. even during pregnancy, because black pepper is like fairly gentle, but you can also apply it topically, like onto your lower back, onto your legs, where that is also an anti-inflammatory, but it is also good for pain management support. And that's where using kind of all of those oils together is great for inflammation, pain management, and either drinking that on a regular basis or even a couple times a week just kind of keeps the body nimble. And that's where it's beneficial to do that. And that's where with the turmeric latte, again, the base is going to be the turmeric, but you can always add in like maca powder. You can always add in cacao powder. You can flavor it to be a little bit different. So if you're wanting like a chocolate peppermint turmeric latte, feel free to kind of modify it based off of what you want or what you're looking to gain out of it. So we're going to now get started into this recipe. So this recipe makes about 2 servings. So we'll start adding that to the blender.
Zarine, it's 5 o'clock, just so you know.
Okay, yeah. So basically what I have is, I have about a 1/3 cup of slivered almonds. The skins are on, they're organic, so I'm fine with that. Then I'm basically just adding that in. Then I'm going to add in a tablespoon of the hemp hearts. Then I'm doing in about 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar. So you can use any sweetener of choice that you want. And again, you can always add more or less depending on what your flavor profile is that you like. Then I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder here. And then we're going to go ahead and add in 2 cups of hot water. So I have some hot water that is ready, and I have cup measurements on here. So I'm just going to basically directly pour it in here. And you can see like the beautiful yellow coloring from the turmeric powder. And that's where, again, just make sure your blender, your mixer is able to withstand like the heat from it. Otherwise, what you can do is you can always add in like the cold water or cooler water. And then once it's blended and made, you can then warm it up on the stove or warm it up however you want. So that's kind of where you can also make this as like a larger batch and then just warm it up as you need it or as you feel like drinking it. So now with the oils, we're going to be using the turmeric. So the turmeric essential oil, we're going to do about 3 drops. So I love the taste of turmeric, but again, it's up to you. So if you wanted to even start with 1 drop and then move your way up, that is perfectly fine. And then we're going to do cinnamon bark. So if you haven't tried cinnamon bark essential oil, this is one of my absolute favorites. The bottle is like almost empty. It is like a staple in my kitchen, whether it be in porridges, overnight oats, smoothies. It is an absolute amazing oil to be adding in. So this is like on its like last few drops. And this is a really good essential oil to be adding in. I've added in 2 drops. It naturally sweetens the flavor, as well as anyone with blood sugar levels, diabetes. This is a great oil to be adding to anything that you're going to be eating. So even like your teas on a regular basis, that's a great oil to have because it will help kind of balance and level out the blood sugar levels. Then the next one is your black pepper. So black pepper, you can add in 1 drop, or what you can always do is, as I mentioned earlier, is just take a toothpick, just put it in the top of the bottle, turn the bottle over a little bit, twirl it, and then you can just take that and twirl that toothpick into your water, into your flavoring. This is what I probably recommend with peppermint essential oil when you start, because it will be potent. The black pepper, I don't mind it, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in that full drop. And then we're gonna get ready to blend it. And then with this one, again, you can add in ginger if you'd like, but this is perfect that way. So this is where it is going to be quite hot as well because we did add in that hot water. So you'll see like the steam coming out. And then again, you can just basically pour it in. And it smells like amazing. And then what I love with this is, again, you can taste it with this. Again, this is one of the coconut sugars that I use. So organic coconut sugar, use whatever you have available. It is like a beautiful yellow color. And then what you can always do is you can always top it up with like coconut cream or anything else that you like to kind of flavor it and give yourself like a nice treat. So you can definitely smell the cinnamon coming out of it, but it is definitely a treat to be having before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, and it's perfect for the whole family too.
I just had one question. What was that? Hemp hearts?
Yeah. So hemp hearts, I buy them from a local supplier in India, but they're basically
Who asked that question and embarrassed me? Last week we had a long conversation about it, and the giveaway was hemp.
I wasn't there, Mary. I wasn't there. I'm so sorry. I wasn't there last week.
Hemp is like a really it's one of the highest plant protein seeds.
No,
hemp
I know hemp.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
Hemp
what
hearts
is
are hemp
hearts.
seeds. Hemp hearts
Oh,
are
okay.
hemp.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Because I think they call them hemp hearts because they're shelled and dehusked.
I was confused about what's the hearts part.
All right, yeah, so it's the same thing, but it might be a Canadian thing. That might be why.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How long can we store it? You said make it in bulk and
Yes. So I would say for about a week, I would store it because it is like a nut milk. So even when I make like a large batch of like almond milk or something, I will store it usually for maximum, I would say 3 to 4 days is what I like to store my almond milks. So even if you make it as like 4 servings, so like just double the recipe, that would be enough to last. So I would say don't make more than enough to last you for 3 to 4 days.
So you would make a big amount and keep it in the fridge, is it?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And keep heating a cup of each and having it.
Correct. Correct.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, so the last recipe is just a throat soothing tea. This is super simple, where it'll be really straightforward. We'll get that going.
Hi. I just want to ask, like, the milk won't get curdled up.
Sorry, the milk won't get?
Curdled up. Like,
no, because we're not using actual milk. We're using a nut milk. But even if you use like a regular milk, it won't curdle from the essential oils.
Okay, because when I use almond milk, like the water goes down and the other part of it is up. So
yes, so that will happen. So that is not it being curdled.
Just
so that would just be the sediment settling. So like for example, the almond pulp will be a little bit heavier, so it's going to settle to the bottom, and you'll get the liquids on the top. So even when I make it, just stir the bottle or like just give it a good shake before you pour it out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and yes, you can use the raw hemp seeds, of course. Okay, so this last one is the soothing throat tea, where we're basically just going to take a mug of hot water. And this is good where when you have like the hot water, you're able to do 2 things with the tea. You're able to drink it, but you're also able to kind of just hold it in front of your face and do like a steam inhalation with the oils once you finish making it. So we're going to just do a mug of hot water. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I like the organic kind with mother added in it or included in it. So that way it just has that extra benefit. I'm just going to eyeball it. And then we're going to do 1 drop of lemon. And then either 1 drop of ginger, or you can do fresh ginger if you have fresh ginger as well. So either or works well. So I got 2 drops in there, each of those. And then we're going to do about 1 tablespoon of sweetener of choice. So again, I have coconut sugar, but do kind of whatever works for you. And again, what you can do is while it's kind of cooling down before you're able to actually start swallowing it and ingesting it, just kind of hold it in front of your nose and in front of your face and just take those few deep breaths, and it'll automatically start clearing out your nose, your nasal passages, your respiratory system. And that's kind of where you're able to use this tea in both ways. So with that, the teas are very good where you can kind of modify them. So for example, if you're wanting to, this one is good for throat soothing. If you're wanting to help with digestive issues, you can either add in a drop of cardamom essential oil or the Digescen essential oil, where the Digescen essential oil is a blend of, it has peppermint, caraway, fennel, anise, all of those amazing oils that are there to basically help soothe your digestive tract. So that's kind of where you can, again, modify and substitute the oils based off of what you're looking to get out of them. So that was, I used apple cider vinegar. So that's all the recipes that we have for today. The last thing that I wanted to share with you guys was how you can get them in your homes. I think if you guys had listened earlier, I had mentioned that I am offering you the option to basically get everything sent to my US PO box, and then I will take care of shipping and everything from there, and it will basically get delivered directly to your door in India. With that, that requires you to get a wholesale membership. So you can either get a wholesale membership, which is included with like an introductory kit, which is probably the most cost-effective option if you're starting. And usually some of the introductory kits contain a lot of the most common oils like On Guard, Serenity, Lemon, and those are ones that you're going to be using on a regular basis. And then also it has like a deep blue rub. So for like aches, muscle pains, arthritis, it's really good for that. Or there's like a essential oil kit that has like your top 10 oils, and it includes a diffuser. So there's quite a few different options. Reach out to, again, Mary or myself, and we can kind of work with you as to what you want to get started with. So even if you want to try like 1 oil to begin with, that's fine. Start with something, I would recommend, and that way you're able to kind of see how it changes your life and how you can integrate it into your lifestyle to make it sustainable, because that's kind of what Mary is teaching you as well. What I'm here to educate you about is also to make sure that all of these changes that you're having are for sustainable, for your sustainable wellness, and for you to basically be making those changes over and over and over again. So that way they're there and integrated into your lifestyle. So that way you're seeing those health benefits happen. So I don't have anything. How long does it take to get shipped? So it usually takes about 2 weeks, I would say. Once you place your order till the point that it gets to your door, usually takes about 2 weeks. Indian customs is sometimes slow, depending on the products. I have also like some inventory with me in India. So depending on what your products are that you're looking for, if I have the inventory here, I can always send you that immediately and then use yours to backfill mine. So that's also an option. So depending on kind of what the products are, but I would say typically it could be 3 days if I have them in stock with me to 2 weeks.
Zarine, I had 2 questions. Is there a limit of how much essential oil you can take? How much is too much? And because of the potency?
Yep. So again, in the ebook, we've listed all of the potency levels. However, for aromatically, so just diffusing it or breathing it in or inhaling it, there is no limit. However, we do recommend, a lot of the new diffusers will do like 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off, or 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So they'll cycle it. So that way your body is not getting overloaded aromatically. So that's where we don't recommend diffusing something 24 hours a day. Diffuse it for a little bit, give your body a break, and then let it breathe it in again. So that's kind of where using one of the newer diffusers is beneficial that way. Internally, for adults, the recommended dosage is usually 2 to 4 drops at one time. And within 24 hours, about 12 to 24 drops. So that also depends on the size, the height, weight of the person. So what you'll see in the ebook as well, you'll see ranges. Depending on if you're starting out for essential oils, always be cautious and go towards the lower end of the range. You never want to be starting out at the maximum, because this is going to be your first experience with essential oils. So start slowly and integrate it in slowly. And that's kind of where also you can't really overdose on the essential oils, but again, you shouldn't be drinking a bottle of essential oils at one time. So that's kind of where it is, you have to proceed with caution. Read the label on the bottle, and then also follow the ratios that are there. For children, for internal usage, so that would be for them swallowing it, either using they would either use like a capsule that would be swallowed, or they would be using one of the beadlets that doTERRA has, where doTERRA has beadlets for their peppermint and then their On Guard, where 5 beadlets is equal to 1 drop of essential oil. So that's where you could give a child up to 1 to 2 drops for them to be taking that will be digested in their stomach, not directly in their mouth. Orally, so it orally would basically be on their tongue, under their tongue, in their mouth. For adults, it would be usually 1 to 3 drops, and in 24 hours, it would be 4 to 18 drops. Then on your skin, if you're doing like a massage or something, or applying anything topically, I usually like to make like a larger spray bottle. And then the spray bottle will usually have about 20 to 30 drops in it, but the spray bottle will be about 2 cups of water mixed with a dissolving agent. So typically first topically on your skin, 3 to 6 drops of the essential oil at one point in time. And then over a 24-hour period, 12 to 36 drops. And then for children, again, start with 1 to 2 drops in a specific period. And then in 24 hours, 3 to 12 drops. So yeah, so the website for doTERRA is just doTERRA.com. And then I will share, Mary, do you want to type in your doTERRA website so that way they can go in from there and take a look at it as well?
So we'll send it tonight on the mail. It'll be on the mail today. And Zarine, the other question was about how safe is it for pets?
So that's where these oils are safe for pets. You also want to follow the dilution ratios again. So if you're going to be applying them topically onto your pets, follow like the same amount that you would apply for children or even less, because their skin, their fur is a lot more sensitive. So if you're going to be using it as like a flea spray or something for your pets, or wanting to use it for like their coat for their shine, then what we would do is you would typically dilute it, then put it onto their brush and then just kind of rub it in. Or if for like dogs and for cats, you would just basically put a little bit on your hand, rub it on your hand, and then you can kind of massage it into their ears or behind their ears. If you are diffusing around pets, be cautious and always leave a door open or give them the option to leave the room, because your pet will automatically know that, okay, this smell is too much for me, and they'll leave. Or they'll sit beside the diffuser and enjoy the aroma. So that's kind of where for pets as well, we use so many different options. Like I use it for our little pony that we have as like a natural flea spray for his coat and for his shine and stuff, as well as for our dogs and stuff. So that's kind of where you can use it for wounds, for healing their wounds, their cuts, their scrapes, for fleas, ticks. You can also do like a roller ball and put it around their collar. So that way it's like as like a flea spray there. So they are safe for pets, but again, dilution ratios need to be followed. There is another resource for pets called Dr. Rourke, the vet doctor, or the essential oil vet, I think is her website. So she is also really good, and she's a veterinarian who recommends the essential oils and is able to also give like the exact ratios by animals. And I also have like a whole chapter that I've written that I can also refer to if anyone has pets that they're concerned about or they want to integrate oils into their pets' lives. So,
nice. So what about, what are your favorite oils? And do you have a peppermint beadlet? Sorry, I didn't get it here today, but I wanted to show everybody the peppermint beadlets. It's a game changer, guys. If there's anything you have to buy the peppermint beadlets, because I don't eat chewing gum anymore or use mints anymore. And it's just this beadlet is like this bomb in your mouth. It's so cool. It's just like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, they are. I do. Do you want me to go grab them?
Yes, if you can. Cool. Anybody has any questions they want to ask? Did you like the show, guys?
Yeah, it was really nice today.
Awesome.
Definitely.
I'm so excited to bring it to you today because it's so nice. It's made my life. Yeah.
In future, if we have any issues, we can consult her and get the.
Yeah, you can consult Zarine, you can call me up, you can do anything of the sort, and we can fix up one-on-one talks with her. You can do video calls with her if you want to know more, and she will even take, if you want to sign up, or even if you want to do this as a business. This is also, I mean, it's great. She's got she'll help you do all the stuff for it.
Mariam, just for information, it's how much does one oil cost?
So Sama, I think she said after, I mean, when you convert it to currencies, I mean, the ones that I buy, so some, like say, suppose it's like an On Guard blend. The On Guard blend is what we use in the house and stuff like that. Those are like $35 or $40 for a bottle. And then orange and lemon and stuff are like $10. So it's between, say, 800 and 1300 a bottle. I think it works
Maria,
out.
what is the On Guard? What's the On Guard?
So she has a couple of blends. So that's why I'm telling her to bring all her favorite ones, so that you can see the blends. So that will be very helpful once you go on the doTERRA site and start checking out, because otherwise it's like so much information, right? So I want you to see the beadlets, I want you to see the blends, and so you have an idea as to the kind of things that you can use. So doTERRA has ready blends. Like say, for example, I don't want to, for colds and coughs, I don't want to buy 5 or 7 different oils. So I can buy a blend first, which has a mix of like 8-9 different oils, So then that's
sorry to interrupt. So they are tailor-made for your problem.
Yes. So they have blends for everything. I mean, they have Thinker blend. They have everything. They have blends for everything. So they're really good. Cool, Zarine, here. On to you.
Okay, so these are the beadlets. So it basically comes in like this packet here. It's like a little beadlet form. And then if you can see, it's like a tiny little bead. It's like squishy. And it basically just dissolves. You can put it on the top of your tongue, and then it'll dissolve in there. And then and then for the beadlets, you can take, I think it says like maximum of 43 or something.
But you need like one, like literally.
Yeah, you need one.
Friend,
but in order to if someone maximum is I think 40.
That's like everything in your body starts feeling pepperminty. It just goes boom in your body. It's really cool.
Yeah. So alternative to apple cider vinegar. Sangeeta, you had a question. I would probably, if you don't like apple cider vinegar, I would probably do, I guess do either a gore, jaggery, instead, because that will also help soothe the throat. So because I know apple cider vinegar is more the acidic and helps with the antibacterial portion of that, but I would probably do jaggery.
Lime.
Yeah, lime or even the jaggery as a sweetener and just omit the ACV. Essential oils for managing pests, fruit flies, roaches, spiders. So peppermint oil, cinnamon oil, they don't like those. If you add those into your floor cleaner, you can add a drop into your floor cleaner whenever you're mopping or anything. It's great that way because the peppermint burns their feet. So they don't like the essential oils there, as well as you can also put in a little cotton ball. So dab a little bit of the essential oil, and if you have roaches that come out of a specific spot, you can put a little bit of the essential oil on that spot. on the cotton ball, and then just place that cotton ball near that area, and then you can see how it affects that. So it's a really good natural alternative.
This is good for mosquitoes as well?
Yes, so they actually have a Terra Shield, which is a mosquito spray. Love it. Every time, like if I don't apply it, I'm eaten like alive. But it is a 30 ml spray bottle. So, and that way, just like one spray on like your whole arm will be enough. And then like another spray on like your feet or something would be enough. And that comes as either the essential oil or in the spray form. I like the spray form because I can just put it in my pocket and I can use it for myself and my kids. And it works.
What is it called?
Terra Shield. I'll type that in. And then it's a 30 ml spray bottle. That one.
Did you bring did you bring your favorite oils?
Yes, I have them here. All right. Okay. All right. So my favorite ones are On Guard. This is the oil that I was introduced to 6 years ago when I was first introduced to doTERRA. And this is the oil I fell in love with. And I used it all through my pregnancy, diffused it, never had any issues with it, and never got sick once. And that's kind of where even now, whenever my kids have fevers, whenever they have coughs or colds, I'll rub this diluted on the bottom of their feet, on their back and their spine. And from there, I basically just, their fever will break by the next morning. And that's where you have to let your body do what it needs to do. Like, you don't need to medicate all the time. Like, your body's telling you you have a fever for a reason. And that's where this is one of my favorite oils. It has the clove, it has the orange peel, it has the cinnamon in it, rosemary. So it has a lot of really good antibacterial, antifungal essential oils. And this also comes in the beadlets. So they also do have On Guard beadlets. However, like even with my daughter, I've put like a drop on her tongue and she'll be like, whoa, because it'll be too much, or it is spicy. But it works. It works.
And you use it for your floor as well,
yes,
right?
Yeah. So yeah, even for my kids and stuff. So from mopping, I always use it on my floor because they still eat off the ground. So that's where it's like really good and all natural, and it works amazingly. So instead of using any of the floor cleaners, I'll add in maybe like a little bit of vinegar and then On Guard, and it works really well for that. The next one is Purify. This is another blend. So these are all, I'll go over my favorite blends first.
Sorry to cut you off. Do you have things like essential oils for things like dust allergy, like your eyes getting red and like skin rashes? You have things for that as well, like,
yes,
you know, too much exposure to the sun, dust.
Yeah, there are lots and lots of blends. Don't worry, there are lots of blends. If you go to the site, you'll see like it's just crazy amount of blends are there.
Yeah.
So there's lots of blends, and Zarine can do one-on-one calls with you, and she can help you with whatever you want, whatever issues you have, and she can help you choose the ones that will work for you.
Yeah. So like, as I'd mentioned earlier, we had selected, write down what your top 3 issues are, and then contact me and we'll do like a one-on-one call to kind of narrow it down to see like, yeah. Cause when you go on the doTERRA website, there's going to be so many oils that you'll see that it'll be like, oh my God, where do I start? So write down your top 3 areas of concern, and then we'll follow up from there for sure.
Sangeeta wants another session. Yeah, Sangeeta, so the whole of October, on mari.b is going to be dedicated to essential oil. So we're going to be, so Zarine will be on, we'll be doing a couple of Insta lives as well. So the whole of October is going to be about bringing out oils that are really relevant to different ailments and stuff like that. So keep an eye out.
Yeah. So with this Purify blend, this is a really good one if you are wanting to cleanse the air after you've cooked a meal. Or I use this if anyone has like smelly shoes, smelly feet. I'll make like a little DIY foot powder that you can basically put into your shoes and stuff. Like, so if anyone has like really sweaty feet and they get like that bad odor in their shoes or anything, or like monsoon season when your shoes are always constantly wet all the time, this is a great one where I use that, as well as I add this to a little bit of baking soda, and some salt, and then I'll just use it as like a fridge deodorizer. So it's a really nice way to do that. So this is great for that. This is Purify, and the oils that are in this blend are lemon, lime, Siberian fir, pine needle, citronella, tea tree, and cilantro. So this is a really good one for diffusing. It's really nice. And then
Can you just repeat the name, please?
that one was Purify.
Okay, we're running out of time. So it's 5:30. Unless everyone's good with staying on.
And then I guess like the last single oils. And then I also like their seasonal ones. So one of the seasonal ones that I love is Harvest Spice. It's like that autumn pumpkin spice smell kind of thing. And I love that. So I love doing that in hand soaps. So that is one of my favorite ones to do. They also have like holiday peace, holiday joy, like Christmas time oils and stuff. And those ones are all seasonal ones. So those are probably ones that I love as well too. The other ones, lemon, cinnamon bark, and basil. So basil is this is not Tulsi. So this is the Italian basil. doTERRA actually just limited launched Tulsi, holy basil, as an essential oil in September after convention. So like last week they launched it. And that is sourced in India. But this basil is very good for aches, pains, arthritis. And I love roasting tomatoes in it. So just like coating tomatoes with like some olive oil and like a drop of basil and putting them in the oven. It just gives it that extra flavoring. And especially we don't always have access to fresh basil. So it's perfect that way. So that's kind of my favorite blends and my favorite oils that I use all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Mary, I'll hand it over to you to close it out.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Really
and
nice. Really
I
nice.
really don't like you because I'm going to be buying 10 more new oils. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't buy any more oils. But I just love the fact. I want to buy the basil. I made a note. I mean, like the basil, the pepper. I don't have any of those oils. I'm like, oh my God, I need to buy them.
Well, so I'm going to go on to the website.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Everybody here, Namrata, everyone's like very excited about how many oils to buy. Thank you so much, Zarine. So anyways, we didn't give any giveaways last week, remember? So this week, Ragini has been like amazing this week, okay? So Ragini has named every one of her dishes. So Ragini will send in 10 dishes, 15 dishes at a time, and they are called green punch. And what else? Let me see, what else does she call her dishes? She makes dishes and she christens them. So there's like Desi hummus salad supreme, green punch, mojo berries, coconut frutado salad. Imagine calling a salad coconut frutado. Infinite peppers, healthy moringa smoothie, spiralized exotica salad, papaya rama smoothie, and so many more. She's just been like amazing with her names and then her pictures with the salad. So Ragini is going to win the hamper from Happy Healthy Me, the superfood, and the coconut oil. So yay, Ragini! Congratulations! That was amazing. And we had one more giveaway last week, which was from Ditu Ice Creams, the vegan ice cream place. So they will send it directly to you. So they have a chocolate and they have a vanilla, the mix. They're sending you 2 ice creams. That one will go to Ashi because Ashi sends in long list of exactly what she's been doing, and it's been very interesting. We've been saving it all, and we will be sharing some excerpts of what everyone's journey has been in soaking. And so she's been very conscientious with the soaking and the sprouting, and she's been trying doklas with different ingredients than what a regular dokla is. So Ashi, congratulations, and you get the Ditu ice creams. And quickly before we finish this week, we have the giveaway for next week for this class is from one of my favorite companies, the Just Amazing, the one with the nut butters. So they have the 30-second almond milk. So that's almond paste that you can just make into almond milk, and they have sachets of it. So there's single-use sachets, and then there's peanut flax chutney. There's peanut choco delight butter with organic peanut chocolate delight butter, and I think 1 or 2 more which aren't here. So that's like a really good hamper of amazing nut butters and nut milks and stuff like that. So send in all. I want everybody who hasn't sent in stuff. Zeenath, who's on, let's get some more dishes going, and let's send in what you like, what you don't like.
I'm so bad with cooking.
It's okay, but you're in a class.
I'm so bad at the kitchen.
Learning it. We are making you learn it. So I want to see 1 smoothie. Smoothies are the easiest thing, or 1 salad. I want to see 1 smoothie or 1 salad.
But Maria, I have my turmeric water and everything very regular.
So I want to see the picture. Send it in, okay? And I want to see what you're trying and what you're putting in your kitchen. Even if you're making your regular dal, sabzi, whatever, if you're adding something in or taking something out or something that you learn, please put it in, because that makes you try it all the more, okay? So all the best, guys, and we will see you on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, please contact Zarine or contact me after this class, and contact us with your questions and set up. And I really, really recommend that you go through the website, take your time, go through it over the next couple of days and see whatever. I'll be sending you my doTERRA website link, so you can go in there, you can send in whatever your queries are or send it to Zarine. And yeah, get going on them, because even if you buy 2 oils or 3 oils in the beginning or some blends, it'll really, really, I mean, like I'm telling you, it's just amazing. You start letting go of medications, you start letting go of everything. I mean, essences and flavorings and sauces. I mean, you just get rid of sauces. Like, that's the first thing you'll get rid of. I mean, if you have ginger and lemon, the lemon tastes like very like Thai lemon. So like lemongrass it tastes like. So if you have lemongrass, if you have stuff like that, you can make your own sauces, man. You don't need to use those toxic sauces from the market. It's just, and everything is therapeutic.